What's going on, guys? So I'm back, and I've got my semi-final match in the Litheo-NU tournament. This was against Greenscrafty or Troy, and unfortunately, once again, I wasn't able to bring you this live because I was recording it live, and then my Camtasia just said you're out of disk space, so I couldn't finish recording. So that kind of made me sad because it was a really close battle, and you will see me just kind of being really scared because his team honestly is pretty tough on my team. So anyways, he's packing the Heatmore for Alligator, Avalug, the wait, what is that thing called? I forget its name, but it's the flower thing, and Dragalge and his Malamar, and Malamar is incredibly scary to this team, especially since I'm not packing U-turn or something like that on Mesprit, so that makes it a huge threat because I have nothing to hit this thing super effectively, and once it starts boosting up with superpowers, it can be a really hard force to stop. So that was one thing I was extremely afraid of in this matchup, as honestly, for Alligator is a huge threat, but I do have Mesprit, I have 3 Pokemon that can hit it super effectively, being Mesprit, Cryogonal, and my Rotom, so that wasn't too scary unless it was able to set up on me. And also, Rocks were looking like a good idea, so I could whittle his Mons, especially after Avalug's dead, which is his spinner. So anyways, let's just hop in this battle, as I should be doing my finals match pretty soon, and I'll try my hardest to do it live, as there's a little bit of the screen cropped out at the top. I'm going to move that. So he's going to lead off with this thing, his Malamar, as I'm going to lead off with my Candy, and Candy does not want anything of this because I can't touch him with an Energy Ball, and I don't want to risk getting destroyed by Night Slash. So I go straight into my Garbodor to eat this hit, as he does go straight for the boosting with a superpower, as that does nothing to me, but now he's going to be able to go for a Psycho Cut, and even at +1, that'll do a lot of damage, as he does take the Rocky Helmet, which is nice. So here I'm going to go for the Clear Smog, because I don't want to die or anything, and I still get a little bit of damage off, as that doesn't do anything, as he does go for the Psycho Cut. So me being able to outspeed him means that he's running max bulk, so I kind of figured that he could be Assault Vested at this point. And so here I'm going to go into Zippy, because I figured I could take one Psycho Cut, as it's not super strong unboosted, as now he goes for the switch out, as I just went straight for the Volt Switch here, as he brings in Ebola, which is this Dragalge. So going for the Volt Switch gave me some nice switch initiative, and had he stayed in, I probably would have gone straight back into Garbodor, so I could get another round of Rocky Helmet damage, and then potentially knock him out with the Gunk Shot. So anyways, I'm going to go into Harry, because this thing's pretty free setup for me, which is nice, because Harry wants to set up. So I'm going to go for the SD here, as that'll allow me to knock this thing out with an Earthquake, as he does go for the Draco Meteor here. I knew that if he's running a bulky set, Draco still won't do too much to me, because Harry's pretty bulky, as that does less than half, which is really nice, being a stab Draco and all, as it did around 70 HP. So I'm at +2, and obviously he doesn't want to lose his Dragalge just yet, because I know he just doesn't want to lose it, as he's going to go into his Avalug, which this thing's an absolute monster in the defense stat. So I'm just going to go for the Earthquake right here, as that's going to do absolutely nothing at +2, and he does show the lefties. So what I should have done here is gone for a second Sword Dance instead of going for the Head Charge, because after the Head Charge, as you see, I'm not able to knock him out, and after the recoil damage, Avalanche will get the boost, and it's going to be able to knock me out. Had I gone for the SD first, a second SD, I would have been able to kill this thing, or whatever switches in, and then I would have been able to still have my Boufflant. But anyways, this thing is severely damaged, so now I can just bring in my Mesprit here and revenge it with an Energy Ball. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, as this thing will go down. And so now as I do get that unnecessary crit, so count the crits, because I do get a couple of them in this game. So down goes Atmon, and he goes into his Heatmore here, as I really want to set up my Stealth Rocks, as it does do a nice job of whittling his team. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here, and as I wasn't sure what kind of set this thing was running, as he goes for the Will-O-Wisp here, which kind of shows me that, and I kind of thought, I had a feeling that he could potentially be a mixed set, because that's the one I run, except I run Hone Claws and the slot where Will-O-Wisp would be in my imagination. So I want to get some damage off as I go for the Psyshock, as that's going to do a nice over 50%, as he's going to go straight for the Spire Blast, and that's going to do a lot of damage here, and I did not want to play around with the fact that he could be packing Sucker Punch, and being that I have Hariyama, which can absolutely tank a Fire Blast, I was not scared of this thing at all. So I do not want to lose Candy yet because it does have that amazing utility of going for the Healing Wish. So I'm going to go into Handy here, as he does go for the Sucker Punch, so my assumptions were confirmed as I go for the Fake Out here, and kind of surprising for me, he does go for the Fire Blast, as he must have been thinking that I was Guts, so that's the reason why I didn't go for the Will-O-Wisp, as I'm able to take him out with a knockoff, as that Fire Blast does absolutely no damage to me, because Hariyama is a tank, especially with fire moves. So he shows the Wise Glasses, which, it's okay, I'd run Expert Belt on the mix set, but that's just me. So he's gonna go into Lilligant here, yeah, that's his name, as I don't want to take a piece of this thing, and I don't want to get sleep, so I figured my best sleep fodder Pokemon would be this Garbodor, because it's not doing too much at a low point of health, and I didn't figure with it all his fast threats that I could get a Spike Up, even though it would be really handy. So Garbodor is pretty much left for dead, unless I can get pretty lucky, as I know this thing's gonna start going for Quiver Dances, as I do not want to let this thing set up on me. So he's going to go for the Quiver Dance. I know I can take one attack from this thing after, so I'm just going to go for the Fake Out right here, just get a little damage off, and I know I can take one attack from this thing and beat it with Knockout, or a Knockoff plus Bullet Punch, or even a Close Combat. So he's going to go for the Petal Dance, which scared me a little bit, because it's going to be packing a lot more damage, as that does a good amount of damage to Handy, but I'm able to go for the Knockoff. It does not knock him out, as he shows Lumberry, but I knew the Bullet Punch would be able to take him out, as I did not want to go for the Close Combat so that my stats would be reduced, because then give him a free switch into for Alligator, and with my stats reduced, he could have a much better chance of going for setup moves. So because I didn't do that, he doesn't have an easy time setting up on me, as I just go into Garbodor as fodder here, and this was a game-changing point. Had he not gone for Earthquake, and if he had gone for a Sword Dance or a Dragon Dance, he could have just clean swept my team from this point, because my Rotom's weakened, which is able to beat this thing. My Cryogonal has terrible defenses, so thankfully, because he did not set up, I do have to lose my Garbodor so I don't get my spikes up. But I do get another free switch into my Rotom, and I went for the Thunderbolt here. I should have just gone for a Volt Switch, knowing that it would give me the momentum, as that does absolutely no damage, so it's kind of a misplay on my part, as now I'm going to have to take a hit with something. So I'm going to go out into Stash, the Cryogonal. So he's going to go for the Scald, and this shouldn't do too much because Stash has a really nice base special defense, but he does get the burn, which is too bad because along with Life Orb, it will be able to whittle me, as I want to be able to knock this thing out at a good point of health. So that's why Recover is really nice on this thing. So I'm going to go for the Freeze Dry. I didn't expect it to kill because it's only a 70 base power move. As I get the... Do I get the crit? I do get the crit, but honestly it wouldn't have mattered because I would have been able to knock him out with the next one. So there's another crit. So that's like 2 in this game. As he goes for the Draco, I still should be able to eat this up pretty well and live the burn. As that... Yeah, so it does... puts me down to red, but I do have that Recover, and at this point he can't... At -2, he'd have to get a crit to knock me out, and I do not want to go down after this point, so I'm going to go for the Recover here, as that'll allow me to take this next hit and then knock him out without going down to Life Orb burn. So he goes for that Scald, and that does nothing to me, so now I can just go for the Freeze Dry here, and what I should have done, honestly, is just gone for another Recover here, because he didn't really have a good switch in, and Ebola would have died anyways upon Stealth Rocks and a meager amount of damage. But anyways, down goes his Dragalge, and now the game's getting tight because he has his two Pokemon left. And I honestly thought that his play was to go into for Alligator, but he does go into this thing, which I thought, okay, I'm going to be able to get some damage off on it. So I go straight for the Freeze Dry, as this does a good amount of damage. So at this point I figured, yeah, Hariyama can definitely revenge it, as I get another crit, which as he shows rest, so that crit didn't matter because he has the rest, and that completely caught me off guard. That was a great play because he knew that I would be going down to the burn this turn, as he does carry the Chesto Bear. I was assuming Assault Vest, so that really threw a wrench into my plans, as I do lose Stash now, which really, really sucks, because it would have, had I gone for the Recover, anticipating rest, which would have been a pretty ridiculous play, that that would have helped me a lot, because then I could hit with a freeze dry afterwards. But anyways, I need to get my Hariyama back to full health if I want a chance to win this game, because I needed to knock out this thing or put it a really low point so that my Rotom can clean up with T-Bolts. So I go back into Handy, and he's going to get all that health back, which is... I really, really love Mess Break, because all I've done so far is pass Healing Wishes to Hariyama, which is so nice, because Hariyama has so much bulk, and it is so great for my team. And I'm just going to go right for the... fake out, as gets old damage off, as he's going to go for the superpower and start boosting up on me. And so now I just go straight for the close combat here, and here's my next misplay of the game. So that close combat does good damage even out after the +1. So what I should have done here is gone for the bullet punch, but I was thinking maybe he'll go for a rest, but that was an absolutely stupid play on my part, because I could have just gone for the bullet punch right here and put him in KO range for my... put him in definite KO range for my Rotom. So here I go for the Thunderbolt, and he called this out, and this is not supposed to kill him, but I do get the crit, and that was the game-changing crit. I got like 4 in this match, but that was the one. So all he has left is this Relegator. I know I can knock it out with a T-Bolt, and all I have to do is hope that he's not like banded or something to live this Aqua Jet. So here comes the Aqua Jet. I live it with 20 health, and I'm able to knock out his Relegator. So I got so lucky in this game, as... it really sucks for him, but I will be moving on to the finals, as I'm going to be battling Tipster Jones, coach of the Surrey Litleo, which was he was the LBA champion last season. So I'm very worried about that matchup, but I've got some friends that are helping me out building my team and all, so I have confidence that I can take this tournament, as I got so incredibly lucky, and he was a little bit salty afterwards, which is definitely justifiable. But had I just gone right for the bullet punch on my Hariyama, a Thunderbolt with a high roll would have still had a good chance to knock out his Malamar anyways. So unfortunately for him, I do hacks him for the win, but you know what, that's part of the game, and had he done the same thing, well, there's nothing I can do about it, there's nothing he can do about it, so he's just got to cope with it. So that was a real nail biter. Definitely my closest game so far. A 1-0 win, and I won thanks to hacks. So, you know, I haven't relied on hacks at all this series, and before my next battle, I'm going to be sacrificing to the hacks gods, because I do not want to get fucked over, because no, I'm not going to talk about that, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to follow me on Twitter, as well as sub to my... I said sub to my Facebook last time, but sub to my YouTube, as well as go follow Greenscrafty on Twitter at Greenscrafty. That'll be down in the description below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, finals. Let's go. I'm so hyped for this, because I have a really good feeling coming into this, as Skyrander's been helping me build a team that can play against his. So I fully expect that. Yeah, Tipster, I'd expect you to be watching one of these videos right now to try and counter-team me, but I'm going to be counter-teaming you, so if that happens, or if it doesn't, then I just want to be at the most full advantage possible. But anyways, thanks for watching again, guys, and yeah, so have a good night, and work out.